This is a Pyramid One International Network presentation. Hi, and welcome to Pyramid One World Radio. Let me tell you about the host coming up. His name is Maggie Clark. He's a psychic and medium, and the host of A View of Humanity. With decades of experience and a lifetime working with his natural gifts, Jamie offers powerful and accurate validations of the spiritual dimensions around us. Jamie is the host of the podcast Psychic Evolution and author of the Psychic Evolution Trading Cards, and also author of the children's book, The Adventures of Rocco and Tuki, The Kids from Mars. As a spirituals teacher, Jamie shares how to integrate the natural psychic senses with the empowerment of spiritual knowledge to help create a more fulfilling life of love, happiness, and success. But let me tell you about Maggie Clark. Maggie Clark is the co-host of the new podcast, Psychic Evolution, with Maggie Clark, author of Spiritual Coach Healing Arts Practitioner. Maggie Clark is a respected tarotist and, or should I say, with 25 years of experience. The last 14, she was a teacher, an accomplished teacher. Maggie delights in teaching classes, workshops, and offering tarot readings and consultation, years and years of her experience. Maggie has instructed people in the ways of tarot, both in colleges and privately. Her newest development is her online tarot learning program. Let me tell you about these two. These two are, in my words, a power duo. Between the two of them, the energy and the help and the love could knock over half of the world in 2 seconds, maybe less. Let me tell you, it's unconditional love. Explained? Unconditional love is a behavior and a feeling towards someone. Jamie and Maggie have taught many techniques on how to take action. Once you achieve unconditional love, your world will change in many, many wonderful ways. Let me introduce you to the host and co-host, Jamie and Maggie Clark.
Yeah, I love it. And to be able to find a partner in life and an amazing talent and spiritual being in this case has been phenomenal. You know, there's so many of these dynamics where people don't know if they'll ever find that true love. And I can only share from my own experience. For me, it's real. This stuff can happen. And being able to find ourselves within life and find that life within us has brought more life to our relationship and everything else around it. It's phenomenal. So I'd just like to say thank you, Mag, for being you, man.
You got it, babe.
She's a saint. Gonna put up with me, Lordy.
That's all right. Don't worry about a thing. We're all looking.
She knows, man. That's right, baby. Exactly.
I mean, I'm serious. I mean, there's people that are probably listening to the show right now that are going, "Oh, I never found anybody." Look, I mean, I had to look under a rock to find mine. So hey, you know, I mean, come on. I mean, it's
she carries that rock in her hands, boy.
Yeah, I mean, do people think it's going to be easy? I mean, you know, so many people. This. I mean, it was funny because I was telling Diane in fact, she was getting in touch with somebody in there for me for the show. And she goes, I said, listen, I got to tell you something. But, it was one of these things that where, people come up to you sometimes and they say, well, you're on the radio all the time. And don't you ever meet anybody on the radio and that you like to talk to or anything? I said, yeah, every one of them that I get on the radio, I like to talk to. It was like, duh. I said, look, you're not going to find somebody, I said, in bars or anything like that. I mean, I found mine by total accident. And anybody that I ever had any kind of an interactive with at all was totally an accident. It wasn't something that was planned. It wasn't something like, oh, like meet this, meet that, meet the other thing, and all this kind of stuff. Totally an accident. And it just like, one thing led to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. And after a while, then I'm taking out the garbage and somebody else is walking the dog. So, I mean, it's like, hey. But, these are things that people don't realize how simple life can be if you allow it in.
Well, and that's another dynamic where people have been left alone to find themselves again. And now they're like, oh, okay, I found myself. All right, I know who I am. Now they're becoming more ready, more able to bring people into their life experience because now they have their own identity. And more so, people are now ready to start finding themselves within a relationship, not losing themselves to it. And in this case, it's just been such across the board for everybody. Every country on this planet has been pretty much the same. Everyone's been sequestered into finding themselves again. But I'm also seeing a lot of people waking up to life as they're coming out of this cocoon experience to go, oh, holy crap, there is life after this. And then now what am I doing? And who do I want to be with? Because I'm seeing a lot more people able to make room to bring that other person into their life. And again, not losing themselves to it, finding themselves within it. And to have that connection, the communication, those qualities. And exactly, Bob, it's not always easy for everything, but I am seeing so many more people over the past few years that are finding themselves and opening up to not only, relationships in this way, but family ships, business ships. Many people are being activated going, no, I'm here, but I've been successful for 50 years, but I've got something else. I want to do more. I'm seeing such a growth in a beautiful way for people that are very successful in all of those capacities, but they're finding themselves again in a whole new way. And that's a beautiful dynamic.
I tell you something, even with what we have going on right now, and that around the world, but in our own country, with things like viruses and politics and a whole bunch of other things, forget about it. I mean, that'd be another show. But the thing is, so many people are turning off to everything. All these things are shutting them down. The pineal gland is just saying goodbye. I'm out of here. I mean, it's like it's the worst thing I have ever seen in my life. I mean, I talk to people, and they're like, "No, I don't want to talk about that." You don't want to talk about what? I didn't say anything yet. It's some people know me better than you think, but it's funny, but it's just people have to learn. I mean, it used to be something that you could just like talk to somebody, and I mean I'm going to open up to Maggie in just a second because what she's thinking is hitting me, believe it or not. But the idea is all or most of the people that are walking around today. I'm in a where I live, it's in a community, and there's 400 houses in there or something like that, and it's walled in and all kinds of things. I mean, they got machine guns at the entrance. So we're fine. No problem. Sure. But I mean, all the people that are in there, everybody knows everybody else, and waves to everybody else and everything. But you'd be surprised. I mean, one guy watches CNN, another guy watches this, another guy listens to this, and it goes on and on and on and on, and they walk into stores. I walked into a store yesterday just to tell you, and I know everybody that's listening to this show right now is probably going to throw something at me or send me nails in a pie or something. I don't know. But the thing is, I walked into a store with no mask. None. I went in the store and I was shocked. Half of the store didn't have a mask on either. Aha. So, I know the governor in his state and that said he wasn't going to make it mandatory or anything. But the stores, wherever you go into, they can. It's their private land. So they can say, no entrance, no mask.
Yeah.
One of these things. And no, people just walking around, they're doing no mask, the whole 9 yards and everything else. They're finally getting it through their thick head. They're like, hey, it ain't going on. It's not happening. It's just not doing anything. They have these masks on and they say, well, we're not gonna circulate a disease and everything. They don't understand. If you don't have glasses on or a shield, or I even have, and I wore them before once in that on one of the shows, never a joke actually. They're sealed clear glasses that seal up against your skin.
Yep.
It's easier to get the disease through your eyes, through the water ducts in your eyes, than it is to get it through your nose. So, okay, so we got to look like total idiots with these things on our face and everything. Nobody knows what you're talking about, first of all.
Yes.
You sound like Mumble. What was that character? Mumbles?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, one of those things. So you sound like that. Whereas the glasses, hey, there you go. You have the glasses on, you're fine. And if somebody sneezes, that's good for 30 feet, not 6.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
Seriously. If you're going to catch the stuff, you're going to catch the stuff. If you want the vaccine and that, okay,
Whatever works for you. Again, it's all about presentation. Just the subtleties of presenting that. Let's see, there's something else that's known as 6 feet under. Wait a minute. Isn't that in a subliminal subconscious way that has permeated the entire planet? As crazy as it is, it's those subtlety little things and you do have a very good pulse, a good view of humanity. Are you seeing people starting to get back into life?
Oh, me type. Little tiny bit. But you know what? I tell you something. It's not so much, and again, if somebody's going to send me one of those pies, it's not so much the millennials. Because, I see them walking around that all the time. And half of them have masks on, half of them don't have masks on. Some of them are very stupid and like talk right up against another guy or something like that. And you don't know where that guy has been or whatever. So, yeah, it is a good thing in it to be a little careful, But you don't have to end life to be careful.
Right.
And the rest of us older people, we're either far, far, far on the one side and far, far, far on the other side. Like, for instance, this is a very healthy community. So people walk around here 5 o'clock in the morning, 4:30 in the morning. There's people walking back and forth in that outside my home,
Nice.
and I'm out with the dog. So, we meet each other, we say hi, and this is 4:30 in the morning. There's no lights up. Oh, it's beautiful. But anyway, we get those people that are walking around, and these people have shields over their faces, gloves, net of like tight pants and that with the thing. Some of these people are dressed up like they should be in Moon on or whatever.
Right.
So it's like they'd be fine over there. But the rest of them are just walking around like me. I got like shorts on and a guinea t-shirt, thing, and then I'm out there, going out with the kid, and I get, I'm pushing the, oh yeah, and it's one of these things that where it'll come, but I don't think if people keep listening to every single thing that's on the TV, and this guy Fauci, who changes his story every day. He already said that we'll be wearing masks. All of us will be wearing masks until well into 2022. And I'm sorry, ain't gonna happen. not at all, I do things in the morning and that too. I swear to you, I do not wear a mask unless I absolutely have to. Because you're also breathing your own breath and your own CO2 in and out, which is not a healthy thing either for your immune system. So, which part are you defeating?
Right. Or all of them.
You want to live or whatever. So I don't know. It's one of these things where one of these days, and it'll do what it's going to do. And I'm quite sure that you talk to people and say, "When am I?" I put it on the thing. In fact, that I put my age in there, and I said, "When am I going to go?" One of these things. It's in your chat thing.
You're here for a little while.
It was there. People probably ask you that question all the time. Probably like, and by the way, anyone that wants to call in or anybody that wants to post this on Facebook, people can call into the show right now, 609-663 0153. I am not giving away a Cadillac, I promise. But 609-663-0153. Who knows? I might send you a tomato off my vegetable garden. By the way,
And are you
talk,
doing your own veggies? You growing your own?
yes, see, talking about that. Do you know the people that are spiritual type people, higher frequency and everything else? They grow better gardens.
Hmm.
There is a woman down the block, and it's so holy it isn't funny. And she believes in God so much. I mean, it's unbelievable. I love the woman. She's so cool, And she's got monster vegetables, right? So I said to her, I said, "You want to make a bet about that, baby?" So I'll send you a picture of mine are babies. I just put them in a couple of weeks ago.
Awesome.
I already got tomatoes that are like 5 foot tall.
Yeah. And you don't have all the chemicals on it.
No,
God,
none,
healthy.
zero.
Excellent. I've seen more and more people over the past year and a half, 2 years that are doing more of their own gardening,
We're gonna
creating
have,
their own gardens.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
we're gonna
huge,
have,
man.
and it's better for you too.
Yeah, because of all the dynamics that are there. But it's also, I think it's bringing a lot of people together with a common cause to go, okay, we're all in this together. All right, let's do this.
Mhm.
And I think it's really interesting to see how some people are starting to get back into it. Because to me, it's really nice to at least see people out. God, not the craziness.
Well,
And in being able to bring it back to normal, I don't think everything will be back to normal, but it will be a lot more normal than it is.
yeah, I got a funny feeling it's gonna be close. It's gonna be real close. And by the time that we get to like Christmas time, there will be people out shopping. You
There
know,
will be some of that. Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
they won't look like New York. And that I saw, they had it on TV net this morning, and I worked. Well, I worked at 335 West 35th Street. So you go down to like the 50s and the 40s, and that where they, where you start with the thing and then going up Broadway for Times Square and everything else. In the morning at about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, you can't walk across the street. And unless you really paid up your life insurance, don't do it because somebody is going to kill you. They're
Wow.
going to run over you, and then they're going to turn around and go, "Damn, I didn't get the whole thing. Back up, Jack."
It's on
but,
you.
but that's New York. I mean, that's just the way it is. I worked there for 25 years, did my Wall Street thing and everything else, and so hey.
And what
But
got you to move over to where you are now, though?
well, I was a musician too for 38 years. In between, I had my own business on 335 West 35th Street, which is now the building is now owned by China.
Oh, interesting.
Believe it or not, I couldn't believe that. I saw that the other day, and it's one building from South. Let me see, South Manhattan Police Station, which is huge. That whole block is police cars.
Cool.
It's over
Got you
there.
feeling pretty safe.
No, I almost got stabbed once on the block, but
Oh,
yeah. The cops in that. Well, I knew all the cops because I used to park my motorcycle right there when I used to go to work there. And it was really funny because the cops came up to me one day and they said, "You know what? There was a guy in it that was bleeding in front of the thing, over there." He said, "You know how he got there?" I said, "Nope, don't know." That was the guy with the knife.
yeah.
I
No,
mean, I came from a rough neighborhood, so don't mess with me.
hey,
Yeah,
that's the point, right?
absolutely. But listen, we got some people in here, and I'm see if I can grab somebody in there before this whole thing
Cool.
throws up. And you know what? I really, really want the people that are on here, and I know you can hear what I'm saying right now. What I want you to do is I want you to go to your heart and tell Jamie and Maggie what's in your heart. Don't not off the top of your head, because when it comes off the top of your head, you're only giving us half of the question. So I want the whole question.
Beautiful.
So let's see who I'm going to pick out of here first.
Let's do it. Awesome.
Martinsville, Virginia. Who's there?
Hello, JC.
Hey, Stacy, what's going on?
JC, but I'm good. I'm good. Just getting off work, picking up my son.
Awesome. And I love your initials. That's my initials. Phew.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, JC. Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
that's spelled JACI, but
Oh,
it's,
that's beautiful. I like that. That's unique. I don't think I've seen that. Very cool.
thank you. Thank you.
And so what's going on? How can we be of service to you?
I called in last week, and you were like about trying to connect to my spirit guide and having a hard time, and not just wanting a name. And I couldn't never get a name out, and you actually said it, about not having a name for them. Sometimes making up a name, and that's been working great.
Good.
But every time I meditate, it's like there's a block. There's a block there, and I can't get through.
What kind of block? What do you mean?
Sitting there in my spiritual room, and then when it comes time to like try to let them in and feel their energy, like Maggie says, that I can't actually. As soon as it comes to them, it's like there's a block, and then I'll like block it out.
Okay. Good thing is,
his question was what kind of block?
It's like my mind will go somewhere else, or it'll just go black.
right. Mag's gonna do a card pull here, see what we can get you. And the good thing is you're working with it. Keep going. It's not always going to be easy, but these types of dynamics are really helping to redefine who you are and kind of the way that you're starting to perceive reality. I hear a beautiful little baby child. That's awesome. Cool. Mag's got some info for you.
All right, JC. So part of what you're going to learn in this whole process is that you're going to have to get super creative on how you engage. Okay. So when you're in your spiritual room and you're wanting to connect to your, a spirit guide, create another chair, ask them to sit down. And what I want you to do is see if you can feel yourself moving into the experience. I want you to focus a little bit less on your spirit guide, what they're going to tell you, what they look like, and focus more on yourself and see if you can just ask them to allow you to feel them. Okay. And I want you to sit in your heart space and I want you just to vibe it, because what you're doing now is you're sensitizing yourself to their energy, because when we work with our guides, they have to make sure they don't scare us out of the blue and go, and pop in like unexpectedly. Sometimes they have to come in more gently. Sometimes they have to be funny to make us get out of our heads and laugh. So this whole experience for you is about moving into the experience with less expectation, more creativity. And just tell your spirit guide, hey, I want you to sit next to me, or I want you to sit across from me, and let's just move into each other's energy field. And then I want you just to kind of sit with that and see how it plays with your energy. You might feel hot, you might feel cold, you might feel tingling. I want you to perceive whatever it is that you feel. I want you to write it down and just become aware, because in connection with our spirit guides, we need to get creative sometimes on how we are going to live with them, listen to them, and really connect. So I want you to first and foremost get creative on how you're going to blend with that energy or feel their energy in a very conscious and loving way, and really open up your heart to love, and just really kind of sit in that vibration and ask them to kind of merge into your energy field a little bit so you can feel what they feel like. When you were out in public, we walk into a place like, ooh, it feels weird here. Ooh, it feels good here. I want you to learn how to feel them first, because when you learn how to feel them, that's sometimes the first step into being able to communicate more effectively, listen to what their messages might be. So I want you to give that a try and just see if you can kind of ask them to, merge with your energy a little bit and just feel what it feels like. Okay.
Right. And another thing that kind of distracts me though is like I'm trying to find a spot. Like I try to do the room, like y'all had said, and then it just it doesn't seem to work for me. So I was like, okay, well, I'd love to be in nature, so I try to be in nature, and then like I try to think of some chairs, but then I get caught up on the chairs. So then I'm just sitting on the grass. We're just gonna sit on the grass.
Well,
and then the scene will keep changing, and I just get so caught up in it.
Right. And so one of the things is trying to, when we're in an effort mode where we're trying to hold something or fix something, sometimes that can just throw us off kilter. You were going to say something, Jamie?
Well, yeah, and now it's not easy, but you're now creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. Go, no, it's this and it's this and this. Shift that energy. And the great thing is you're ready for this connection. The excellent thing is you're not giving up, and you're very hungry to make a stronger connection, not only for yourself, but for the family. And I feel like you're genuinely wanting to help other people with using your abilities. I mean, you have to go read for the world, but that intuitiveness to just feel what a person might be going through, even when they don't say anything. And sometimes people just need to know, you're actually picking that up because I didn't say anything. Just sometimes people need to know that somebody does accept them for who they are. And in going in this direction, realizing what you are able to do is work your magic first for yourself. That's why it's in your spiritual room. Or like you were beautifully doing is, hey, okay, I'm having challenges of this. I'm going to go to the garden here or out in the area, and that chairs are still too much. So what are you doing? You're letting that go, and you're now sitting on the ground. If that is comfortable for you, then let it be comfortable. Your guide, it doesn't matter. You could be standing on your head. It's just an energy vibe. They'll be able to come and sit with you wherever you would like to be, wherever you are comfortable. And kind of like Mag is saying, as you feel that energy, you'll know when it's your guide, or if you're doing more of the energy work, you'll know if it's a loved one from another person, if it's mediumship, or in what capacity your guides are going to help you. Because your master guide is great, but they'll also help you to orchestrate other guides. I feel like you're ready to make this connection consciously like you are, but sometimes it'll take a little bit longer. Once you've made that connection, you'll be able to relax, and then no matter where you are, whether it's the garden, the room, or any of those places, you'll be very comfortable and receptive.
You can also bring your spiritual room to you wherever you are. If you're sitting in a chair, boom, it's right there. You don't even have to imagine anything else. Just be where you are and know that your spiritual room is always in your heart. It's always where you are. That might help the mind from wandering, because that's part of what happens when we're meditating is our mind just starts playing this story, and then it leads you to another world, it leads you to another world, and then before you know it, like, you're thinking about all these other things and you're not doing what you came to do, which was make a connection. And so that's part of what all meditation is. The art of meditation is not staying attached to the thought process that goes on, and learning how to rein it back in, and learning how to focus is a huge component of talking to guides, because you're holding a channel open. Like you're holding a radio dial just so to get the clear channel.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I was going to ask a question.
Okay.
JC, hang on 1 second.
I love that name.
When people, yeah, right, it's right there. He's here.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
no problem. But the idea is, if you wanted to meditate, is there like a 1, 2, 3 rule on something like that? Some people say, well, I can't meditate. And I'd love to turn around to them and say, well, this is how you do it. But there's no, the meditation doesn't come with an instruction manual, you know?
It's because there's so many different ways of meditating. When you're meditating, all you're doing is relaxing the mind and the subconscious, and just being an observer, basically becoming a witness, becoming an observer. Now, when you're communicating with your guides, it's more of an active meditation, because you have an agenda, you have an intention, but you can meditate running, jogging, walking, cleaning. I mean, you could be in an active state of meditation and just go to this beautiful Zen place. I mean, I know you've driven across country and back, so you know when you just hit those sweet spots and then you're like, where did all the time go? I just was somewhere else for a minute. Yet your eyes were on the road and you were still doing what you were doing. So there's not really an instruction manual. There's breathing techniques. I really find it's helpful to become aware of your own breath of life. I don't like to control my breathing and breathing in a certain pattern, in through the nose, out the mouth, whatever, or holding this for so many seconds. I don't care for those types of techniques, but there are techniques that can allow you to calm the nervous system, and then you can still the mind, because when the nervous system calms down, everything calms down. But if we keep activating the nervous system with our thoughts or our attention to our thoughts, then we don't allow the calmness to kind of settle. It's almost like the waters when they get rippled by a boulder splashing, they eventually need to settle. How does that occur if every thought is a boulder? And it's one of the things, it's called practice. My relationship to my guides was not clear for many years. It took me, oh gosh, it took me over 10 years to get a clear message and know with certainty that that's what a clear message.
What was the click point for you? How did you know with certainty? What happened?
I just knew.
Did it play out? Did they give you information and then you saw how it happened?
It wasn't a validation type of thing. It was just, hey, I'm right here. Boom, I'm right here. It was just something very, very small. And but when you know. But I practiced for years because I wanted to, because I formed that connection. I also will always tell people to journal. I think it's a nice bridge between you and your guides and you and the other side as well. So lots of things to think about. The biggest thing is if we can lighten up on wanting it so badly, because we're wanting it so badly and it's not happening, it's almost right beyond our grasp all the time. If we can lighten that up, come back to our center and ask them to meet us where we are without going to reach out, learning how to be receptive, how to be open, which means you're drawing things to you just by being who you are. So the art of being in the very present moment allows all those connections to tune in very quickly.
Remember, praying is talking, meditation is listening. That inner guidance, that inner awareness, that inner space astronaut discovering who you are, which is everything, is going to allow you to be a little bit more practical with this spiritual stuff. And another dynamic is if it's too much for you to have work and to go, connect and create furniture and all that, then take yourself to a garden and just sit down and close your eyes energy-wise, and then realize when you're ready, you open your eyes, your master guide will be standing before you or sitting before you, whatever you would like to do. They don't really care, like I said, what you call them, as long as you're connecting with them. And in doing this, your conscious awareness is getting you even more hungry to make these connections. That's a beautiful dynamic. It'd be a catch-22 sometimes, but you're ready. You're willing to put the effort, the energy, and knowledge into this to try to make a bigger, better connection with your guides. And in doing that, you didn't just walk away going, yeah, whatever, it's not. This is getting a little challenging because I want to make this connection, but I'm kind of getting in my own way. Good thing is you realize that, and you're willing to, in some ways, maybe make an adjustment. Like Mag is saying, change it up a little bit and you'll get a different reaction.
How's that, JC?
Great, yeah. It's very personal, very personalized. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is my spirit guide have any messages for me?
Someone's going to go to the garden and sit down and talk with them, huh? Lord.
I guess. It's so hard, but I've been trying because I want this, like you said. I really, really want this. And it's just really great feeling knowing there is somebody that has my back.
Yes.
And it's a very great feeling. And I felt them this morning, like a big bird that was never be there before. I've never seen it before. It was just sitting there staring at me. And all of a sudden I felt this love, bang in my chest, love. So, and it's a very great feeling now that I'm working with him and I can feel him a little bit, but I just make it stronger.
And the more you do it.
Thank y'all so much for y'all's advice.
Is that
nice work?
I was going to say that to JC, and that when she said she got it in the chest or whatever, is that one of those moments that you kind of sort of just for a second lose your air, lose your breathing for just a second?
Mhm. Yeah.
Bingo. I mean, it happened to me a couple of times too. I mean, it was like I go out with the dog. It's dark. I tell people do this. Take a walk. It's dark. There's no noise. There's no nothing. Just an open sky. You can look up in the air and you can see stars. Hopefully it's not raining, but you can do that. And I mean, if you want to, you can go so deep into your own thoughts because there's no distractions, zero distractions. So you can actually go inside of yourself further than you ever would. And the other thing is, around usually the morning or late afternoon or late evening, I mean, you take one of those folding chairs, put it out on some grass or something like that, sit down, close your eyes, and think of whatever you want to think or wherever you want to go in that time. You're close to the earth. The energy from the earth can come right through the chair and right through you.
Yep.
And people don't realize that the energy, the earth, is an energy source. So many people have made fun of me in that when I told them to put their back up against the tree, put your arm around the tree backwards, close your eyes, and just relax. And it takes about, some people it took like 5 minutes, but you feel this little tingle on your back. And no, it's not fleas. It's
I do
the,
that in the mornings.
yeah, it's the energy from the ground going through the roots in the tree, and the tree is actually making love to you electrically. And
I
it's
like
sensor.
be barefoot in the grass because I live in the country.
Yes. That's the other way to do it. Usually when you're with the tree, and if you got bare feet, you'll feel it real fast.
Bob, you're also getting into the practicality of spirituality to go, you don't have to sit there and meditate unless you would like to. You can walk the dog, do whatever it is, and you become multidimensional. You're in the steps of the dog walking, but of the mentality of self-realization. And when you can function and you don't have to sit down for, 80 hours a day to meditate to get that, people start to go, how are you doing that though? Because that's just, you seem to like always be on. And you do the meditation, but it's not a crazy visual thing. It's just very matter of fact and practical. It sounds like it's the easiest way. And you're like, well, because it is. And just a lot of times we'll complex things. Kind of like you're doing, JC, is you've got the right intent, but you're doing so much work. It's now like, whatever. And so now just release it. You don't have to build a bunch of stuff. Just be there. Just come and they'll be there. They'll wait for you. And like you're doing, you're now consciously becoming empowered that your guide's listening. There is a communication. So it's not like you're being ignored. And now you're taking things to the next level. And not only that, you're realizing your own awareness that you are making these connections to your master guide and in a different way. Sometimes the change of approach will create a different connection. And in this case, your guide's with you the whole time, but they're also allowing you to redefine what you want to do. How do you want to have this information come to you?
I tell them all the time, I'm like, you're not going to scare me. You're not going to scare me.
Awesome. Good. and they hear that, they'll know, and the time will be right, and it'll just be like, click, finally, they're there. Because like I've shared before, for myself, I didn't really know for a lot of my life who my master guide is. I just knew we had guides and that kind of thing. And until I started consciously making that connection, in this case for my master guide, I'd been with him the whole time and in other lifetimes too. This is not the only lifetime, at least, that he and I have connected. But in that, he never made me do anything. He let me, hey, am I talking to myself? Am I making stuff up? No, good thing is I was questioning it. Don't be a silly, man. Everyone can do it, but don't make crap up. That kind of a connection became a direct reflect for myself to go, if I get something, I'll say it. If not, I will not make it up because it's not about me. If you start getting the energy read, in this case, if you do it professionally, it's not about you unless they show you something in your life experience. Then you can talk about it. But in this case, you're the observer, and with your beautiful child, they're vibing with you. That child is amping up as well.
All right, so we'll do another person if we could.
Awesome.
JC, you can just hang there on the side.
Keep up the great work, JC. You're doing awesome.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
All right, I have one on here that says anonymous.
Okay.
Yes, that's me.
That's you. Okay, I'm looking at this thing. I'm going, wait a minute, anonymous what?
Sorry, because I'm using Skype, so that's why it's not showing up. My question is for Jamie. Do you see any major events coming up for me in the next 3 to 5 years or later this year, particularly in the areas of work/life mission or love? I feel like the last, for some years now, it's just things have been very very calm, but I'm asking myself, there are days where I ask myself, when are things going to really start happening for me? You know, when are things going to really start rolling for me? So do you see anything coming up for me this year or in the next 3 to 5 years?
I do feel like energy vibe wise, by the end of this year, you're more consciously fixed in a direction. So yes, I do feel like that is there. I also feel like in 2022, you have a very strong potential to have another career opportunity offered to you. Just because anything's offered doesn't mean you have to choose it, but it will more than likely be offered to you as an opportunity of direction. Now, in addition, you're also good with people. So you're in that self-realizing going, okay, you know what, I can do only the best I can. But I also feel like your intuitive abilities are starting to amp up. You're starting to tune in more to life and the feelings in other people. And the great thing is when you can feel that energy and understand where they're coming from the best that you can, so that you can communicate and talk with people, not just to people, that's got a reorganizing energy. I feel like, yeah, you in 3 years from this day or sooner, do you have a strong potential to either be in business for yourself or working with someone else if you choose. You don't have to, but it's strong in your energy field already.
Okay.
Do you have 2 different directions that you're thinking about going in?
I'm sorry. Do I have 2 different directions?
Yeah, because I excuse me, I get a split in your energy field, not a slice. When I get a split, that tells me that you might have 2 different directions to choose from. If not, you have a very good potential in a very good way by the end of this year or sooner that you'd be like, I can't believe I'd actually even have to make a choice, going from you may not have had choices in a while to actually having a choice. And it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. I don't feel like you're being pushed and it's cut off on every way. I just feel like, okay, man, I started kind of bringing myself back to life, and all of a sudden this opportunity was offered. Doesn't mean I have to choose it, but it was a weird timing thing. There'll be that precision. There's no coincidence. It is precision on the universe's part.
Okay. There was an opportunity that came up some years ago, but I didn't go that route. So,
cool.
Like you said, there may be something coming up later again.
There will be
something different.
And now you're learning from the past experience to go, okay, now if this other one comes, I'll be even more open to see and vibe and see if it's something I want to do. Excuse me. The great thing is it's already happened once.
Okay.
It can happen again. And I feel like you'll be ready for it this time. You're not going to settle for anything less. It's more of the expectation to go, okay, this is matching more of what I've been vibing with. Perfect. Now it's in alignment. Now there's some solid validation.
Okay. And do you see anything from a previous lifetime that's like connected to just some of the things that I'm going through in this lifetime? Like who or what was I in a previous lifetime? Do you pick up anything? Does anything come up?
You know, it's interesting, but you've been a healer in many lifetimes. And in some of those, it was the old days where it was the witching thing. You're a strong energy healer, but in a very practical, beautiful way. I just feel like you've got a lot of the soul essence to help other people because you've been in that capacity. I also feel like in one lifetime, you were on the run for your whole freaking life. Like that dynamic was not the most productive.
Oh.
And it was just like you just
the run from
from your life experience, from other energies that were in your life, that fear factor. And now you don't have a lot to be fearful of. And it's like, okay, it's a different story now. Yes, it is. So now we're going to create a new story because it's a new time and a new way of presenting it. And you're presenting yourself newly in a beautiful way, in a very good way. And you're ready for these changes. What I would also love for you to think about doing is how about, you know, your intent, you want to possibly make a difference in others. How do you want to feel from this next career opportunity? Fulfilled, happy, successful, empowered. And I would love for you to just sit down for a couple of minutes, if you would, and imagine yourself already doing what makes you happy, what brings you to life and the life within you. And the more that you saunter through, saunter through those, the stronger that vibe will get. And then people are going to start coming to you because you've got that healer modality. So I already feel like people are drawn to you. They'll be like, how would you handle or what would you do? And you'd be like, well, it's actually, I've been through that and here's what I did and here's how it turned out. But it's going for an even deeper level of healing. This is now a soul fullness of healing. And a lot of that is you've got a teacher vibe. Okay, because I always say anyone can talk, but who can communicate? That communication is first you're communicating with yourself. Now that we're starting to have that self-realization, now I can communicate with myself and other people. And if I'm starting to understand myself a little bit more, that more than likely will allow other people to understand me. So basically, it's a step-stage process. I just feel like allowing it to happen. You're a hard worker. There's great. But it's also sometimes it takes a while to get there. And you've been in the process for a number of years. But now it's like, okay, I'm starting to see some. Wait a minute. If there's not a light at the end of the tunnel, then light that biatch up. What the flag dog? Light your own way, man.
Yes.
A whole new way of seeing it, man. You've got this.
Yes, that's absolutely right. That's absolutely. I have been doing healing work for some years, but I'm like, okay, when am I going to go to the next level? What do I need to do to take it to the next level? So that's kind of where I'm at right now. But yeah,
you're starting to connect with people. There'll be some other modalities of healing modalities that you'll be able to incorporate. Remember, everything is energy, light frequencies, and vibrations. You just learn to read it. And we are energy. So now you're learning to heal and vibe with yourself first. And then that way, as you work with others, and like I do, we're never really the healers. We're only the facilitators. Each person heals themselves, but you can be a really good facilitator. And you're ready to take things to the next level. Now, I will also say, as you continue, I also pick up a few years down the road. Don't be surprised if you think about writing a book, because there's already a book in your energy field. Yeah, I sound crazy till it's validated. Go, really? I guess we'll see. It's a good thing, not a bad thing.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You got it. Keep up the work and keep going. You've got this. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And I love that because I see so many more people exactly like her. Okay, I'm waking up here. Where are we going now? What am I doing? They're ready for a whole life, man. And that powerful hunger for it to go, I'm not quite sure, but I'm open for it. That was the open door we just needed to open before anything could go in or out of it. And now that we're starting to open up to life in that door of communication, that's why she'll be brought, other people that can go, oh, you know what? I got a friend who did this. And if you'll go talk to them, I think that they could train you. You'd be like, holy crap, that was easy. It'll just fall right into place. In the beginning, it's coincidence. You do it enough, it's precision.
That's what I was talking about in the beginning of the show. Remember, it was like the people that are almost there.
Yep.
Or could go in either direction.
Yes.
I mean, they're on a fence. It's which way. It's Humpty Dumpty, but they X'd him out, so we can't talk about him anymore. Him and Dr. Zeus, goodbye. But with all these things that are going on, this is where people are for some reason. They're on the fence. Before, when we started, I was talking to somebody this morning about you and about something that I had learned from you 8 years ago, at least 8 years ago. And Brad was there. Brad was my engineer at the time. And the funny part about it was I keep telling people all the time, don't sit on the fence. Make a decision. Once you make the decision will make you. You don't have to say, well, I have to do this. You don't have to do anything. Let it guide you in what you want to do. You'll be pulled in that direction. And I think it's something you said to me almost 8 years ago, and that the direction that I was going in at the time, and I'm still here, and you're still there.
Yep.
I mean,
exactly.
It just went through my mind, while we were talking that, because originally when we originally had our shows, that we even had there was a Halloween show that you had to cancel. That went right through my head when we were just talking. It was something that all of us have decisions and things that pull us in different directions. And the show, I did the show by myself that night, and it was great.
I'm sure it's amazing. Yes.
Great, but no, forget that part. What part? But the idea of the thing wasn't that we made it work only because the energy pulled us in the direction it wanted us in.
Yes.
If you listen to the energy, if you feel the energy, if you follow the energy, it will take you to a place that is better for you. There is no bad side to that.
And that's where people need to get comfortable. Well, what if that directs me in some other place? It's the ability, a step at a time, to get solid knowingness that this is your connection, not being manipulated, not being orchestrated by others. It's teamwork. And your guides will help you to help yourself. They want to set you up for success, not failure. Like, yeah, shut her down so she's not going to even listen to us. Like, nope, they'll give you those opportunities. And sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes it takes a long while. And then we just wake up and we're here. That's kind of where things are at now. Is a lot of people are starting to go, okay, I'm coming back into life. I'm just starting to wake up. Click. Things are going to start to click in very quickly. But that's also part of the portion of the acceptance is now we're knowing for certain that we're not the only people in the universe and that this isn't the only planet with life. Oh, so there's more. And so now as we unify, we're now going to expand that God consciousness because it's no longer just planetized, it's universalized. Well, who's your God? Who's yours? Who's that? Rose by the other name is still Rose. Same thing, different label. Now it's becoming comfortable with a whole new reality. And in ways that most of us aren't used to because we're on this planet. You start connecting with other beings and species and planets that have been here for millions and some billion years. It's impressive. Impressive. And we're starting to go in that direction. That's one major things.
We've all been looking. We've all been listening. And that they're here.
It's like they never left.
Well, of course
not. We're not originally from here.
Yeah, I told you, man. We got a good friend that's been on the show and that's quite a few times, and he's been on a lot of shows in it too. He takes pictures of them.
Yeah, dang.
They're there all the time. He really, really does. I should share you some pictures. I'll tell him to send me a whole bunch to share with you.
Yes,
they're incredible.
I would love to see if I can get any energy connection with that too. You might be connected with a few of mine.
Do this, Ned, and let me see. The next caller now, I'm going to bring you on in 2 seconds, so don't move. What I'm going to do is I'm going to invite him on the show with us.
Cool. Yeah, let's do it.
And we could do that. I'm telling you, this guy, he knows. I'm telling you.
I got questions.
Oh, baby. You better warm up those tarot cards.
Oh yeah, yep. She can work her magic, man. But that's the thing is,
it was smoking.
I bet. Well, and she's amazing. That's why I love her practicality. You know, when you can give information, it doesn't have to be all the esoteric. It's the same old information, just in an updated way now, more practical. That we're more comfortable with, and when we find more comfortable with it, we're more willing to work with it, not shun it. So
there you go. Now. We've got another caller here. Andre? Hello, Andre.
Do you mean Andrew?
Do you mean Andrew?
Okay. I'm reading this from 6 feet away, and I wasn't infecting the computer, but.
Oh. Yeah. Hey, what's up?
Go ahead.
Hey, Jamie, Maggie, this is Andrew and Nicole.
Hey, good to hear from you guys.
Yeah, really good and exciting. Really love the radio show. We're gonna definitely try to make it as often as we can. But just wanted to call in, say hi, and just kind of let you know. We're working on big things, as you guys know, and just I just wanted to see what you guys see happening for us or what you're feeling. I know we're already working on big things and we're manifesting and. I heard you say some key words to a previous caller about how to manifest, and I feel like we're doing that, and it's working, and it's amazing.
Yes. Not only that, you're putting the practicality of spirituality to use, and in being able to be the person who can have that information and use it and manifest things. Because both you and Nicole are very practical. I love that. You guys are great people and practical. So when you're able to start manifesting these things from information, because I'll share all I do, but you're now starting to create a whole nother reality. That kind of an energy is a teamwork, and our own life experience has brought you guys together to see where else you want to go. I'll also share with you that you have a strong potential to do a few more tip and flips. Houses.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yep.
Excited.
And here's another thing for Andrew, for that, even if you haven't ever thought about getting another plane, I do feel like within strong potential of 3 years from this day or sooner, might you have an opportunity to get another plane.
Wow, that'd be awesome. Something I was just talking to Nicole about too. We were just kind of joking around and saying, hey, when we get some flips going and make it big, we got to look into getting another plane.
Yep. Jet. Exactly.
Wow. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Always chatting with you guys and just feeding off your energy.
Awesome. It's all about the love, man. And you guys are awesome.
I'm gonna pipe in and add something to this, only because I completely agree with Jamie. Like, the reality that you're co-creating together right now is magical. It has a lot of potency. So I think it brings a balance into how you're creating with the universe and how you're manifesting. It's really awesome that it's working so well, but I agree with Jamie. Like, you've got some really big things that are in the works that they're going to be effortless. You just keep going down the path that you're going. It's definitely an effortless type of just be in that state of creativity, allow all the juju to flow. But there will be a couple of things that you will redefine through this process. Like, you might have to cancel a couple of XYZ because it's not being as productive as you wanted it to be, but it won't be like a huge thing. It'll just be, you're going to be reading the writing on the wall. It'll be very, very clear, but realize that you're going to tweak a couple of things that you've been planning. Okay.
That's a good thing, not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Thanks, Maggie.
Thank you so much.
You got it. Hey, let's go do dinner again.
Yeah, we'll definitely do dinner soon.
Cool.
And
We're meeting for dance.
Ow! They are having fun. They're doing the dance lessons just like we are, which is great. And Bartolo is an awesome guy. He is so much fun and so patient. God. Nice work, guys.
Yeah, I like the way he just laughed at when he said patient.
Yeah.
What's about? You got nine left feet?
I told her.
I think I'm the patient one.
She is a Saint Maggie, man. Heck yeah. But it's really cool because Andrew and Nicole vibe a lot like us. They have their own energy. They found each other, circumstances, the connections, compassionate love. And yeah, getting a chance to be brought together. And sometimes it takes to go, oh, finally. Because in myself, now 55, I'm like, Lord, it took me that long to find the right amazing person. Yep, apparently. And in this case, though, that love is there and it happens. And I just found that the more that I started finding the love within me and my love within life, the more that it was being reflected to me again. And then again, when we can live what we're saying, because, you better be walking your walk and talking your talk, then, maybe there's something to what we're doing. We want to help you to help yourself if you want that. It's empowerment, not enablement.
It was funny, though, too, in that on, what is it, on the 28th, I think it's the 28th. I'll be talking to Dan Hanley, which is also a pilot. But he happens to be in Istanbul.
Istanbul, yeah.
Yeah, he's over there. So this is going to be it's going to be 6:00 on, I believe it's the 28th. I'm not sure yet, but just keep watching the web.
Yeah, definitely. Nice job.
Yeah, that one's going to be, oh boy, I tell you, it's gonna be one of these ones that when I think the more people that who tune into that one, that's gonna be very interesting. Now, your last guest that was on there, if anybody wants a copy of this show, I will send you the link to get right into Pyramid One channel on YouTube. Just email me, bobcharlesshow@live.com. You send me your email and say, I want that movie now. whatever you want to say, and I will send you the link so that you can see them all. I mean, Jamie is all over it.
Yeah,
I'll also send you another link that'll get you audio links all the way back to 2012, 2013.
Yes.
That's
Gosh,
like
time flown.
oh man, you got to hear those. They are so good. And really, seriously, and if you put enough of Jamie's actual audio pieces together, oh man, you'll be a better person in about 3 or 4 audio sessions.
Beautiful. And I love being able to share. And, you like us, we've got to do the best we can. But if we can be ourselves and maybe help someone to help themselves, this is going to be a better place, one person at a time.
More people have to learn how to just take a step back once in a while, because we're all extremely human. We're very human. I mean, I deal with people in that every single day, and that are just they're inhuman in a sense. But you gotta realize we all live together. We're all, and I don't say this and to kid around. We are all a ball of love. Every single person is connected to somebody else. Like, for instance, your last guest, he found his love, you found yours. How'd you do that? Boom, it just happened.
Yeah.
What happens? These kind of frequencies, if you want to go for the higher ones, or the 528, if you want to go
love,
in a sense like that, all these kind of things, Ned, be it the music, the flowers, the animals, the air, the stars, it doesn't matter. Some one of those things in there is going to be the spark. It's going to start your brain working in the right direction. It's just that, so many people now are led like sheeple because they listen to too many things instead of listening to their hearts.
Beautifully said. Very good.
I mean, I'm serious. I mean, your heart doesn't lie to you.
Yep. This could be a better place, one person at a time. We're going to start with us first. Let's do this.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Oh, it's great, man.
Yeah. I mean, we got so many crazy things. By the way, my son, for some reason, has been knocking on the door. I don't know what he wants. I don't know what is going on with him or anything else in it. But I'll get up in the middle of the night and I feel him. Yep. Not so much feel, but like know the presence.
He's around. Yes.
I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one that is feeling people. Like, this earth is changing. Things are changing. Huge. I mean, huge. And people don't realize that that's going on. I may be a little bit more open to it because I'm more into or connected to people like you and others that have been on the show. And I mean, I now know that there's a possibility that we're not alone. To top that all off.
Mm-hmm.
So, just like you say, like mediums are psychics and psychics are mediums.
Yes, exactly.
Anybody that divides them have to be out of your mind because they both do the same thing, only one is alive and one isn't.
And isn't it interesting that both of those dynamics, extraterrestrials and our loved ones, are coming to the forefront of consciousness?
Yes.
Now it's more scientific. It's this. Okay, good, great. See, everything's spiritual and it's all good and we're all connected. Let's keep moving along, man. Mm-hmm. Once we get this, now we lose our fear and trepidation of the unknown. And now we can build upon the known of what we're creating with our brothers and sisters that we didn't even know were there the whole time. Kind of like our loved ones. They're not making us do anything. We're choosing to evolve in this capacity and then be brought together, in this case as a planet, to get even more reachability through the cosmos. But it's the inside job is what it really is. This is just a reflection of what's going on the inside.
Oh, look at us. Just the Earth. Put it that way, right? It's around what, 4 billion years? Something like that. I forget exactly what the number was, but it's in the billions. We're around for give or take 8,000 to 6,000 years, somewhere around there.
What if we've been here a lot longer than that? Millions.
Wait a minute, I was just getting to that. Now you go past. Now if you push past, and let's take the mind, and we'll go. And everybody that's listening right now, listening to the show, and do this. Close your eyes and think of before there were hairy guys walking around that look like humanoids, or dinosaurs. Come on, let's go back a little bit further. Now, we don't have dinosaurs anymore. Now we got a bunch of insects and things growing. Go back a little bit further than that, and you'll see snow. Ooh, that was the snow that came the second time that actually froze all the dinosaurs and everything. That was the second coming of the ice age. So if you go back to the first one that there's evidence of, that you can find evidence of, you go further back to that. Now, this is where you're right. There was a civilization before ours. It just didn't make it.
Yep. It's been scrapped multiple times. Yep.
Uh-huh. So if you want to take it back all the way, you got 4 total civilizations, or our type of civilization. Now you're talking about the Atlantis and everything. Right. In that same vein. So you're going back 4 times. It could have been more. But as far as you can find, anybody so far that has gone back is 4. But every single one of them attained very similar statistics as far as their civilizations were concerned, as we are and do. What we did was that was somebody turned off. That was somebody. When you go back to those areas, and that you find out later on that somebody screwed up there, and then they did it again, and then they did it again, and then they did it again. Now, who put us here? This is the big question. Who put us here all 4 times? See, right. Everybody goes, oh, where did we come from? Well, you better start thinking real hard, because we did come from somewhere. Somebody did put us here. People like JC, people like a God, as they call it, God. What is God? Who is God? Where is God? Well, it's easy. I can give you all answers to all 3 questions. A, he's all over. He's here. He's with you. He's sitting next to you. He's over there. He's up there. Where did he come from? He came from the universe that we're part of. It's a huge energy ball. That's us. Now, where can who is that person? That person is you. It comes from your heart. So if you put God together with spirits, together with the universe, compared to other things like where do we come from? Where did humans come from? Where did consciousness come from? You'll see it's the same thing. Just 2 different things that we want to put together now and put it into one person and make a whole new civilization out of people who actually care for each other.
Build upon the strengths. Yep.
And damn, that could be so cool.
Mm-hmm. Just sometimes the growing pains and what we're growing through is not always easy. But yes, the end result is we make it.
Well, in shows like this, we hope that people think a little bit more. Like I can see our graph light now just went zing. So, obviously, good. Yeah. So like more people even turned on. But the thing is, out of all the things that we've done on all these shows, and Maggie, you're in addition now to it, and your tarot, intuitive feelings and things that are something that people need more of, actually. Yeah. This is things that we have the medium to get it out there, to get the word out. You have the word. Now what we got to do is we got to put the 2 of them together and get more people in to listen.
And that's what's happening.
I have everything here. I made everything so that everybody can come in. And matter of fact, on Skype, I can put 100 people.
Excellent.
You can see, I think, 20.
Okay.
I haven't tried the 100 yet, but I think you can see 20. But 100 can actually go on there at the same time. That's another little thing that I had out with Microsoft. It's like, okay, you got this thing. Why can't we use it? Well, you can use it. Well, I can't use it. We'll fix it. Well, they did. So now, I mean, if I put the meeting on there and I put that's a time on there, everybody can get into the meeting at the same time. It's like a giant webinar that you can see people.
Good. Very nice. Bringing the humanity together, man.
Yeah.
Nice job.
I want people to come in. I want them to learn things here on these shows. I want them to go out and tell somebody they saw the show and tell them why they watched in the first place, or tell them what they learned from the show, or tell them what Maggie said, or tell them what Jamie said. The more of this spreads and that, oh God, I mean, it would be all over the place.
Yep. Power in numbers.
And you'd see people being nicer to each other for some reason because our energy that we're transmitting right now is not bad energy. This is the energy we want every single person on the planet to have.
And they'll feel it. Yes.
Oh, yes, they will. Yes, they will.
Awesome.
So,
We're on.
Maggie, Jamie, tell me a little bit about where or who or what you're doing or where they're going to find you, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh my gosh. Well, I
We got so much.
I don't even know where to begin. Well, you could definitely check out all the current events on Jamie's website at jamieclark.net. And all my events are on tarotevolution.net. And if you want to listen to our podcast, all the information is at psychicevolution.net. And I do know we have a workshop coming up on June 26th for developing your psychic evolution. We will be building out spiritual rooms, meeting your master guide, lots of cool, fun experiences for that class. So,
Tools and techniques. Having fun.
Now, I also want to tell everybody that on the copy of this that's going to be on YouTube tomorrow, there will be a complete, and I'm not, so many people are saying, oh, it's only a part. No, it's the complete list of every single address you can get in touch with Maggie or Jamie anywhere, including telephone numbers.
Awesome.
Yeah, so don't worry about it. Somebody's not going to call, get on the phone and say, "Oh, that's hey, no, you're not going to get some in the country somewhere. Now you'll get one of them on the phone, one way or the other, or somebody that'll have them call you right back.
Yep.
So call the numbers that are on the YouTube copy. So all right,
Awesome.
Everybody, this has been. By the way, the time is 1:11.
Ow!
Oh yeah, big one. Okay,
Perfect
now everybody out there, net, listen very, very carefully. Everyone should turn around to the person that's next to them and say, I love you.
I love you.
See? Right now. Because it's bigger, better, and more worldly.
And if you're on your own,
each other.
Tell your love for yourself.
Yes.
Bobby, always good, brother. Thanks, guys. Keep tuning in.
Oh, yeah. I love doing shows like this. Oh, man, I'm telling you, they get better and better and better.
Yeah.
Listen, everybody. Love is a big room. It's a big word. L-O-V-E. You know who it means? It means you. Ah, see? Fooled you there. Go to the moon, and say to yourself, I am, and the world will come to you. God bless y'all. Bob Charles.